Hello, I'm Mayor Myron Bailey, and thank you for tuning in and joining me for the 2026 State of the City for the City of Cottage Grove. Each year, the State of the City gives us a chance to pause, to reflect on where we've been, to recognize the progress we've made together, and to talk about where we're headed next. It's also a moment to say thank you to the people who made this community what it is. And as I stand here today, I'm proud to say this clearly: the state of our city is strong. That strength doesn't come from one project, one plan, or one year. It comes from the people of Cottage Grove, our residents, our businesses, our community partners, our commissions, our volunteers, our city council, and our dedicated city staff. These are all people who care deeply about this place and show up every day to make it better. Before I talk about accomplishments, I want to begin with gratitude. To our residents, thank you for being engaged, informed, and investing in your community. Whether you attend events, participate in surveys, show up at public meetings, or simply take pride in your neighborhood, your involvement shapes the decisions we make every day. To my City Council colleagues, thank you for your leadership, collaboration, and willingness to make thoughtful, sometimes difficult decisions in the best interest of the entire community. Your commitment to Cottage Grove's long-term success is evident in the work you do. To our commissions and advisory boards, thank you for your volunteer service and expertise. Your time and insight strengthens our decision-making and ensures we hear a broad range of perspectives. And to our city staff, thank you for your professionalism, dedication, and heart for public service. Whether you work behind the scenes or out in the community every day, your work directly improves the quality of life for our residents. This past year, the city's work was guided by our strategic plan built around three core pillars: enhancing quality of life for residents, fostering a thriving business and tourism environment, and remaining an employer of choice. These pillars aren't just words on paper. They are reflected in the projects we pursued, the investments we made, and the priorities we set throughout the year. Now let's look at the first pillar: enhancing quality of life for residents. At the heart of everything we do is the goal of making Cottage Grove a great place to live, work, and play today and for generations to come. One of the most important ways we support quality of life is by ensuring residents have access to housing that meets their needs at every stage of life. Recently, the city completed the Maxfield Market and Housing Study, giving us clear data and guidance on where housing demands exist and how we can respond thoughtfully. Using that information, the city took meaningful action in 2025 to support new housing opportunities. This includes approvals, partnerships, and funding support for several specific developments, including Bluestem Apartments, an affordable development tailored for seniors. We are also well underway on two other important housing projects. Roars has broken ground, and the 164-unit Hadley Ridge Apartments are both prime examples of new housing that will be supporting residents in our community. Overall, housing saw growth to the tune of 244 single-family homes, 29 townhomes. When you factor in the 144 units of multifamily housing built in 2025, total housing valuations across multifamily, single-family, and townhomes came in at over $131 million. Together, these projects represent a range of housing options: multifamily, senior housing, and workforce housing, helping ensure Cottage Grove remains a place where people can live, work, and stay long-term. Public safety also remains a cornerstone of quality of life in Cottage Grove. Over the past year, our police and fire departments continued building strong relationships with residents through proactive community-oriented services. The expansion of the Case Management Unit, or CMU, has been especially impactful, leading to an 89% reduction in chronic calls for service. The CMU helps people who need ongoing assistance from mental health professionals or social services. This ensures that people who need help don't fall through the cracks when being referred to other agencies or healthcare professionals. The CMU leads with compassion. By managing cases involving mental health concerns, they prevent unnecessary incarceration or hospitalization, and they provide alternative care in the least restrictive environment through a coordinated and comprehensive system-wide approach. That means better outcome for the residents, more efficient use of resources, and a safer community overall. That figure cannot be overlooked. Too often, options are limited when officers respond to calls involving mental health. Through our embedded social worker and the case management unit, we are having proactive interactions and connecting individuals directly with the resources they need. That translates to fewer calls for service, fewer trips to the hospital or jail, and more positive outcomes for those who need help. On the ground, this work may be as simple as our canine therapy dog, Riggs, showing up and helping calm a situation. It may also look like a CMU officer helping a child get to school after experiencing a family loss. It is the small things with big impacts, one family at a time, that makes the real difference. The work is both big and small, and it shows the compassion and creativity of our public safety team. To round out our public safety's commitment to community engagement and modern policing, we've added a third canine, Kai, to complement an already incredibly successful canine program. And I mentioned community engagement as a core pillar of our public safety department's work. This past year, we launched a Community Emergency Response Team, or CERT, to engage community around the principles of emergency management, preparedness, and response. While we never want an emergency to hit Cottage Grove, we know that they will happen. The CERT program educates residents about disaster preparedness for hazards that may impact Cottage Grove. Participants learn basic disaster response skills such as fire safety, light search and rescue, team organization, and disaster medical operations. I'm proud to report that the program has received significant amount of interest from our community and is well underway. My thanks to our residents who have stepped up to be a community resource to their neighbors if and when disaster strikes. In 2025, the fire department also completed a comprehensive standards of cover study. This data-driven analysis provides key recommendations on staffing, equipment, response times, and service delivery across the city. It gives us a clear roadmap for maintaining high-quality emergency services as Cottage Grove grows, while ensuring we plan responsibly and prioritize resident safety. Protecting public health is equally essential, and this past year marks a major milestone. The city completed and commissioned the low-zone water treatment plant, the first of 2 permanent PFAS treatment facilities. At the same time, we continued operating interim treatment plants to ensure residents receive fully treated, safe drinking water every day. Construction is now well underway on the second permanent facility, the intermediate zone water treatment plant behind the central fire station. This work represents one of the most significant infrastructure investments in our city's history, and one of the most important. Parks, recreation, and community spaces also plays a huge role in quality of life. This past year, Cottage Grove continued reinvesting in playgrounds, park buildings, trails, and recreational facilities, while also hosting events that brought residents and visitors together. As part of this commitment, the city also began studying the future of the Cottage Grove Ice Arena. This work is focused on understanding the facility's condition, community demand, and long-term options for reinvestment. It's about planning ahead and making sure this valued community asset continues to serve families, youth, and organizations for years to come. Another highlight in our recreational system is River Oaks Golf Course. In 2025, River Oaks had an exceptionally strong year with increased rounds played and solid financial performance. It remains both a cherished amenity and an economic asset for the city. Building on that success, the course will soon be receiving new golf carts, an investment that further improves the experience for golfers and positioning River Oaks for continued success. Our next priority is fostering a thriving business and tourism environment. A strong city also requires a strong, resilient local economy. Over the past year, Cottage Grove continued to work closely with businesses, both large and small, to support growth, address challenges, and create a welcoming environment for investment. We celebrated new businesses opening and expansions, supported ribbon cuttings in partnership with the Chamber of Commerce, and maintained ongoing conversations with employers about workforce needs, housing, childcare, and transportation. In 2025 alone, we saw several new businesses and key city facilities open, including the new City Utility and Engineering Building, the Lozone Water Treatment Plant, the Madison, Banks Kitchen, Casa Mia, Mi Pueblo, Gerber Collision, Horsch, Gateway Fiber, Circulo de Niños Childcare, Buffalo Wild Wings Go, and the Walmart re-grand opening, just to name a few. The Economic Development Authority also continued investing directly in our business community. Cedarhurst Mansion is set to restore and renew the historic mansion while also adding a critical building to host weddings, events, community celebrations, and much more. This intersection between embracing historic preservation alongside economic investments through a public-private partnership are an incredible example of supporting businesses through creative approaches. Through the city's facade improvement program, the Madison was recently awarded funding to enhance the building's appearance and contribute to the vibrancy of the surrounding area. This investment helps preserve Cottage Grove's history while also embracing new business opportunities. One more example of how targeted investments can strengthen our commercial corridors. Tourism continues to play an important role in our economic strategy. Discover Cottage Grove made meaningful progress implementing its strategic plan, launching new marketing initiatives that position Cottage Grove as a destination for recreation, events, and hospitality. Looking ahead, the city also made a strategic investment by purchasing the former Ross property on East Point Douglas Road by Walmart. This site represents a key redevelopment opportunity, and the city acquired it with the long-term vision in mind, including the potential development of a future hotel. A hotel at this location will support tourism, complement nearby businesses, and strengthen our local economy by spurring investments from other future developers in the area. And finally, the third priority, remaining an employer of choice. None of this work happens without dedicated people behind it. Over the past year, Cottage Grove continued investing in its workforce with a focus on recruiting, retention, training, and employee wellness. Programs like Jumpstart, the city's onboarding initiative, help employees better understand the organization and build connections across departments. Leadership development opportunities, lunch and learns, and engagement programs continue strengthening our organizational culture. The city also remained focused on financial stewardship, earning a AAA bond rating, receiving a clean audit, and continuing to follow the 10-year financial management plan. These practices ensure stability, transparency, and responsible use of taxpayer dollars. Recognition matters too. Being named Large Employer of the Year by the Cottage Grove Area Chamber of Commerce reflects the dedication and pride our employees bring to their work and the values they provide to our community every day. And completing the sweep, so to speak, River Oaks Golf Course took home the gold with the Small Business of the Year Award. A big achievement that is both a sign of an incredibly well-run and successful business, but also that it is a truly great place to work. And it signals to prospective applicants that we are, in fact, an employer of choice. Looking ahead to 2026, while I'm proud of what we've accomplished, I'm even more excited about what's ahead. Our work will continue to be guided by our four strategic directions. First, engaging residents where they are. We will expand clear, transparent communication through video, digital platforms, the city's podcasts, the Grovecasts, surveys, and direct engagement, making city government more accessible, understandable, and responsive. Second, continued sustainable growth. This includes advancing major infrastructure projects like the 80th Street and East Point Douglas Road Rehabilitation Project, continuing PFAS treatment investment, pursuing funding for transportation improvements such as the County Road 19A and 100th Street realignment, and supporting thoughtful housing and commercial development. I'm excited at the potential investments in the former Speedway location on East Point Douglas Road. Third, making Cottage Grove a recreation destination. We will continue investing in parks, trails, and amenities while advancing signature projects like Mississippi Dunes Park to create spaces that attract visitors and enhance quality of life. And finally, remaining an employer of choice. We will keep investing in our people through training, safety initiatives, and wellness programs, and of course, recognition. As I conclude, I want to return to where I started with gratitude. Thank you to our residents for your trust and engagement. Thank you to our City Council, commissions, and community partners for your leadership. And thank you to our city staff for the care, professionalism, and dedication you bring to this work every day. The state of Cottage Grove is strong, and more importantly, our future is bright. Together, we will continue building a city that is welcoming, resilient, and full of opportunities for everyone who calls Cottage Grove home. Thank you for joining me, and I look forward to the year ahead.